Hello, keep your longevity lifestyle designers. This is Zach here with secretsoflongevity.com as well as martin-kilgour.com. And today I am going to be making a
Release the KRAKEN
elixir, and it's going to be very rejuvenative and full of Jing herbs. We're going to start with adding the liquids, and here's myself making the tea. So here we're going to make the herbal tea for the
Release the KRAKEN
elixir, and I'm going to start by putting in, this is just 2 astragalus roots. I've broken each one in half, so you see there's 4 pieces total. Put those in the pot. I've got 1 whole ginseng root, and it's still slightly soft. I purchased this a while back, and it's still got a bit of bend in it, so that's nice to know that's quite fresh. And I've got He Shou Wu, so I'm going to add 1 large handful, like very large handful. It's going to be predominantly what's going to go in here. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of nettle root. So there's the 2 tablespoons of nettle root, and it has unique properties that it has sex-binding hormone globulin inhibitors, which actually raises free testosterone in the body because sex hormone binding globulin binds to testosterone, making it unusable. So by doing that, it allows testosterone to increase. So it inadvertently raises testosterone, and it is an anabolic herb that is very beneficial for any male, really, but it's great for anyone that's wanting to increase their free testosterone levels. In a safe way. It's actually in accordance to what your body can handle because it's your own body's testosterone. It's just preventing it from excessively being bound up and released from the body in a form that's unusable when it actually happens to bind to sex hormone binding globulin. So we're just going to add the water here. I'll just simmer this tea for about half an hour. I'm going to make a lot, so it'll make 2 batches, so I'm just going to use half this batch in the elixir today. There we go. So it just boiled. Actually spilled over a bit, but I caught it just in time, and now it's on a low simmer. I just turned it down. And I'm going to put the lid back on, and I'll be leaving it for that half an hour. I can shower and get ready for the day, and then I'll have a tea ready for my
Release the KRAKEN
elixir. So this tea literally just came off the stove, so it's very hot. I'm going to pour it in through my strainer here. I'm going to pour in 3 cups worth. I would do more, except that I'm going to add some other liquids. I'm going to add some straight spring water to cool it down because it's too hot. If I add any ingredients to this, it's going to literally cook them, and I'd rather keep this raw. A nice dark tea. We're at almost at 3 cups. There we go. And then of course I'm going to add about 1 cup of water. I hope this is going to be enough because I'm going to add raw goat's milk afterwards. If it's too hot for my finger, it's going to be too hot for the milk. That is a little too hot. It's hard to say what I'm going to do. I'll add a little more water. It's going to cool down quickly, but I'm going to add the goat's milk. And goat's milk is high in sodium. I've got 1.5 cups here. And sodium, organic sodium, in terms of what you get from plants and goat milk and actual food sources, is great for joint health. And it's also very high in potassium and other minerals. It's very alkalizing, more alkalizing than cow dairy. It's high in calcium, of course, it's a dairy product. And the fat globules in goat milk are 1/5 the size of cow milk, so it's also more digestible. A lot of people don't have as much of a reaction to it, but this is raw organic goat's milk, which is great in elixirs. I find it makes it really creamy, really appetizing. Right off the bat, I'm going to start adding my ingredients. I've got 2 tablespoons of hemp seed I'm going to add into this. This is a great protein source. And any of the things I'm adding into this elixir, you can find links for them below. You can find links to the herbs if you want to make that same tea that I just made. You can find hemp seed. Cacao nibs is going to be the next thing I add. You can find those down below as well. 2 tablespoons of cacao nibs. 1 tablespoon of bee pollen. 2 tablespoons of chia seed. I just add it straight in. It kind of binds with a lot of the liquid and makes it thicker. So I always like to have something that's got that property in a drink, whether it's chia seed or Irish moss or anything that kind of thickens up the drink nicely. Even avocado, if you want to do it like that, use an avocado. And then the last thing in this first blending of the elixir is going to be the honey to sweeten it up. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons. It's going to take me a while to get it out of the bottom. I'm at the last dregs here. We'll do that off camera. So of course, now we're going to do the first blend with all those coarse ingredients to break them up. Something I actually forgot that I wanted to put in that coarse blend was a tablespoon of black sesame seeds. Very Jing tonifying food, so I'm going to add a tablespoon of those in. So that's the first blending done. It's actually extremely full. That's because of all that water I added. I might have to pour some of this off and use it later in something else, but we'll start with 2 tablespoons of cacao powder. I'm sure you all know the properties of cacao, but if you don't, you can always check out below. I've got an article written on cacao. You can click through on that. I'm going to add 1 scoopful of raw grass-fed whey powder. So there's a lot of animal products going into this drink here. A little more than I would usually consume in a day. So that's 1 scoop of that. That's about 15 grams of protein right there. And I'm also going to add 2 raw eggs. So this is definitely a
Release the Kraken!
elixir. Next we're going to add 1 tablespoon of mesquite. Mesquite is high in lysine, which is a very essential amino acid, probably the most essential of all the amino acids. It's getting very full, so I'm not going to add too many more ingredients, but just a few more things here. 1 teaspoon of He Shou Wu from Hyperion Herbs. You can check out the link below. That will take you to hyperionherbs.com and you can look at the amazing benefits of He Shou Wu. Also known as faux tea, and I've also got a link below that you can check out an article I've written about faux tea. It's one of my favorite articles on my website. It gets a lot of hits. I'm going to add 1 whole teaspoon of this stuff. 1 heaping teaspoon, I should say. And then I'm also going to add a pinch of kelp. I like using kelp more than salt just because you're getting a very high amount of iodine. This is not 1 teaspoon of kelp, but 1 teaspoon of kelp contains 4 milligrams of iodine. And they say you need about 5 milligrams of iodine a day to maintain a healthy thyroid for your life. So if you're consuming kelp, which is the highest iodine food, along with some other sea vegetables, it's a good chance you're getting that optimal 5 milligrams a day. But if you're not consuming enough sea vegetables, it's quite likely you're not getting enough, and the thyroid's open to getting radioactive thyroid in its place. So when you take the thyroid, it actually fills up the receptor sites in the thyroid, and it prevents the accumulation of radioactive compounds in your thyroid. So some of the last things we're going to add is 3 dropperfuls of stevia, and that's just so I didn't have to go overboard on the honey. Add some extra sweetness. Also going to add some goji berry powder, and you can also find goji berry powder extract on Brandon's site. Again, hyperionherbs.com. It's a new product he has. It's great if you're looking to limit your intake of sugars and you want the same benefits that goji berry has to offer. You can locate it there. And goji berry helps increase human growth hormone in the body, your body's natural production of it. And it's all around just full of all sorts of immune tonifying polysaccharide long chain sugars. And to top all this off, I'm going to add some spearmint essential oil to give it a wintergreen type of taste. I've never added this before to a smoothie, so we're going to see what it tastes like. I'm just adding 2 drops because it's probably very potent. I might add another one afterwards if it's not strong enough, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty strong. We're going to blend that up, the final blend. I'm also going to add a dash of a tincture I made not too long ago. That just has He Shou Wu and other Jing herbs in it. I did actually add one more drop of spearmint extract or spearmint essential oil and 2 more dropfuls of stevia. I guess because it was such a large volume it needed more sweetness. And that, my friends, is how you make the
Release the Kraken!
Elixir. I'm going to pour some for myself here to taste on camera. And that is so good. Check out the goat milk if you can. Check out my articles below as well as links to any of the products you wish to purchase that went into this drink. And I'll see you next time. Take care.